motorcycle oils and chemicals for your bike and shop. Pro tips for you from Elevate Action Sports. Hey, Jay Clark here with Dirt Bike TV and Elevate. We're going to give you some tips on all the oils and chemicals we use in our shop. It takes a lot to keep your dirt bike running and looking good. There's a lot here. I'm just going to start at one end and move down to the other. Right here we got Rain-X. This works good as a slight cleaner on goggles for when it's raining. This will help beat off water for your goggles. Shell Rotella, we run this in most everything from our diesel vehicles to all 2-strokes and 4-strokes. What we have been using a little bit of this Recluse oil in our Recluse clutches on the torque drive clutches. This is an oil that's really designed for long clutch use for guys that are really heavy clutch abusers. So if you're having clutch problems, you might switch to something like this, try that out. But for most people, this is totally good and sufficient. Klotz Assembly Lube. This is like a kind of like similar to a 2-stroke oil, works really well to coat cylinder walls. If you're assembling valves in a 4-stroke, anything you're assembling, it works really well as an assembly lube. Air filter cleaner from Uni, we use that. Every time we're cleaning the filter, it works really well to break down the oil, help get that dirt out. We have an air filter cleaning video that you can check out here at Elevate. Glass cleaner, we use this a lot just on little things here and there, obviously from goggles, but a lot of things on bikes. It's just an easy, non-harsh cleaner, and it's easy in the can to use, works really well. On that same topic is scrubbing bubbles. A little bit stronger than this. This works really well, has a little bit of bleach to it, not very aggressive. Won't stain the aluminum too bad or anything like that when we're out washing. It's not maybe as good as breaking down grease as something with a degreaser in it, but it does work really well. And we will use it as we're washing bikes, scrubbing frames, seat covers, those types of things when we're washing bikes. Brake fluid. We have a Super .4 here. This stuff's in a metal can. It's like $15 a bottle for this huge bottle, which will last most people, a long time. For us, it'll last us, 6 months. We do a lot of brakes here. You can get this at the auto parts store. This stuff at .4 has a high boiling point. You don't need, most people, if you're a full racer and you're having some brake issues, you might want to get the high dollar stuff that's up to 600 degree boiling point. This is like 4 something like that. It's sufficient for everything we do. It's been great. FFT, foam filter treatment oil for our air filters. Really good oil. We really like that a lot. This is kind of a cool product we found. Rust and stain remover, hard enduro life. Ty Thuison, he's the one that actually showed us the first video we saw of this stuff up in Utah, and it'll remove anodize from parts. If you put it in a little tray, put this in there, it can remove the anodize. If you have something that's faded and you just want to get the anodize off, clean it up, that works really well. Okay, some of our sealants, 3-Bond has 1211 and a gray sealant, which work really well. These are really good for, say, an exhaust pipe with a 1211. On a 2-stroke, O-rings, you want to seal it a little better. On a front sprocket, if you have the little clip, that can be a really good one around there as well. This epoxy, this Pig epoxy putty works really well, better than a JB Weld. It's a 2-part system. This one works really well for that. The Super Lube works kind of like a dielectrical grease and other things, and you can use it in a few other places that it's a lot cleaner than grease. Like for the pins on a KTM air filter door, you could put them on there, work really well. Okay, thread lockers. We have 222, 243, and 263 from Loctite. So light, medium, and hard lockers. We use these on sprocket bolts, the low, and on most things would be this. We use medium like on a front sprocket bolt and some internal engine parts, maybe a Kickstarter bolt. We do something like that. A hard would be internal engine parts like a nut on crankshaft, things like that would be more of a hard. Or if you're doing a clutch basket, you're switching it to a different brand of clutch basket, those bolts that hold the plate on, the retaining plate, I would use something like that. Klotz R50s, our 2-stroke oil we use, really good oil. You guys are gonna ask me what ratio. 32 to 1 on a 125, 40 to 1 on a 250. If you're trail riding only, you could be up to like 40 on a 125 and 50 or 55 to 1 range on a 250, 300 range. Okay, that's what we run with Klotz R50, been a really good oil for us. PB Blaster is really good. It does seem like it soaks in a lot better. If we're trying to soak a rusted bolt or situation like that, the PB Blaster is really good for that. Having grease in your shop, and we cut a little hole in our lid here so we can have a little brush in here so we can grab out the grease, a good grease thing. Contact cleaner, we have COTS. We use a lot of contact cleaner. Really helps around the bikes to get things clean in an area, get all the oil and residue off, plastic before we're doing graphics, those types of things. That works really well. Baby powder we use in our tires before we put the tubes in our brand new tires. Get those in so the tubes and tires don't chafe as much. That's a great thing. Grip clean, we keep a big one over here at the sink, and that's a huge help. Moto guy created that, Bryce, and works really well, and not too abrasive or tough on your hands, works really good. This is a 6-in-1. This isn't my favorite one. We have a few of these from, got a deal on them. But a good oil like this is really good for your chain as just a lube. Also, simply oil works really well in your chain. So in a container like this, you could put in whatever cheap oil you can find. Any oil will work really well on a chain as a good option. The reason we don't run chain lubes is, I feel like, and what I've seen and talked to a lot of people and seen a lot of testing is, chain lubes can grab sand and dirt and actually grind it into the chain and wear it out sooner. So, oil on the chain. This is anti-seize. We use these on places that we don't want to ever rust up or gall up, and chain adjuster bolts being the most common. That'd be a common one we'd want to use anti-seize on those threads of those chain adjuster bolts. All right, so that's a look at a lot of different chemicals and things we use around the shop, and it takes a lot, but I was just thinking, there's days that we use almost everything on this table in one day, just working around this shop. We use something on this table at least once, everything on this table at least once, many times in this shop. So hopefully that helps you out with some things you can look to get for your shop, and check out all of our other videos here at Elevate. We'll see you out later. Thank you. If you're looking for anything dirt bike related, parts, gear, anything like that, head over to our website or the link in the description below and click on the Rocky Mountain link. From there, you'll be able to see all of our top picks and much more. It's a great place to find all the dirt bike parts that you need.